My name is Mark Q. Anderson. This is Gehenna Gaming. We're going to be talking about something very special. This episode is Crack Open the Spine with Necrobiotic. First of all, my co-host here, we have Nick Francia. Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing really good today. How about you? I'm dabbing. I'm on a few pictures of Tito's strawberry lemonade, so I'm riding along.
Sick dab, dude. Do you want to see mine?
Yeah.
Ha! Just one. Just a quick one.
Just one.
Dab on those haters, I think they said on the streets.
It's the whip.
What is that, the whip?
Yeah, it's the whip. I know you're too old for that, but
yeah, but how do you nay-nay?
You gotta whip, and then you nay-nay.
Oh yeah, but the nay-nay is like you gotta have smoothness.
Yeah.
Speaking of smoothness, we have one of my favorite people of all time, which I think is now my official title for you, Mitchell Wallace from Penny for a Tale.
Let's give it up for Mitchell Wallace, everyone.
Yes, applause everywhere.
Also, let's give it up for Ian Mueller back home, everyone. Mueller.
Did you say Mueller as if he has the umlaut over the U? So funny story. Early on in my Gehenna Gaming career, I was really torn on how he spelled his name because he just told me his name.
It's Mueller, right? That's how you say it, right?
Oh, Mueller.
It's Mueller?
Mueller.
Yeah, but I was like,
Mueller's cooler. Get the fuck out of here.
I think we should incorporate the umlaut. And also big ups to Rick Wheeler, who's currently running
a fucking king
Dark Ages game for our Patreons as we speak.
I know. I didn't know you could. I might Patreon myself up there.
There you go.
You should.
More adventures. Vampires.
Have Gamaliel just kick the door open and say, "What's up?"
Join Jay and Devin and diablerizing everything.
Oh yeah.
So why are we here today? We are here today to talk about, and this is a very, this is kind of a little mini series that we've been running. You may have seen Crack Open the Spine before, last VHC, maybe an Onyx Path Con, which is coming up, by the way. But this time we're going to be focusing on something very special. Necrobiotic is a very interesting game that involves, and I'm just going to pitch the concept before I have Mitchell correct me and actually explain it the way it should be explained. Good. But Necrobiotic essentially is all about everybody's bodies becoming a public good, right? The society is run, the infrastructure is run by the hard labor of reanimated dead bodies. And the entire city of Florence is this kind of safe little corner of the world that's safe from all the post-apocalyptic craziness that's going on outside the walls, while corpses walk around fixing and doing, and grandma's sweeping the streets, and your dead loved one is changing light bulbs. It's a crazy world. Is that close?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm done. Peace.
Dude, I fucking love this idea. First off, I'm gonna be the color commentator today. That's what happens when you get me on these streams last minute. But I'm just saying, the whole idea, even like the opening blurb, it just conjures so much imagery. In a broken world where the dead are machines that do the heavy lifting for us, we are a cog in the social engine, alive at first and forever once dead.
Lord, that's mercy.
Yeah,
I love that authoritarian, totalitarian, be good for your government. I just love that shit. It's like, yeah, it's like cyberpunk, but it's like dead cyberpunk. It's like dead fantasy cyberpunk.
There's a word for it.
Yeah,
I had the shirt. I should have put it on.
But I want that shirt. How many shirts did you make of that?
There is one shirt, and it also has a mouse on the nose of the character, which makes it even more fancy.
Oh yeah, because you had like the little kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
I need to talk about this to Mitch actually. So for anyone that doesn't know, the original title of Necrobiotic was Necropunk, but you had to change it, right?
Yeah, so it came to a point about, I think, a month before it was supposed to be released, or maybe even less than that, where I had 3 people be like, and the first one I was like, okay, I'm sure it's fine. And then the second one I'm like, maybe a little concerned. I'll look into it. And then like the third one, I was like, okay. And so then I had known that there was a Pathfinder TTRPG campaign setting called Necropunk.
So amazing story about that. I don't know if I told you this. I told Rick and Mark. So that Necropunk is made by Little Red Goblin Games.
Yes.
Who the company is owned and Necropunk was lead designed and written by a gentleman known as Scott Gladstein, a person that I actually know very well, decently amount. We went to college together, and he was making like that. He got a start in tabletop design while he was in college, so I got to see a lot of the early stuff, the Little Red Goblin Games. So I remember seeing Necropunk and being like, oh yeah, I remember Scott made a supplement called that, not thinking anything of it. And when you said, yeah, some Pathfinder setting already has it, so we have to change it, I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
I know,
so,
right?
Like, I know Scott decently well, and like we went to college together.
It's a small world. I mean, like TTRPG is so incestuous, I found. In some of the best ways possible. And I gotta say, it's so part of me, I respect you a lot for going, let's just change the name. And it was so organic. And the way that you did it with now Necrobiotic, the logo looks amazing. In my opinion, looks a little bit better with Necrobiotic. From a design perspective. Designed by Jen Brazas. And shout out to her because she's fantastic.
So she's amazing.
So let's this game originally was all in Italian, right? Is that correct?
What?
Yeah. El Drenaggio and the supplement Dream Theater. There's actually like I think a couple PDFs too that go beyond these two books. But yeah, this is the basic. Oh wait, this one is the core rule book for the game. Kind of like a nice 6x9 that I got from Italy.
That's great. What inspired you to go? Okay, I do. First of all, do you speak Italian?
No, I don't. Not even a lick.
So what made you decide this is the game?
So it was my friend and business partner, Mr. Smith, went over to Italy and visited their game store, Stratagema, and bought this book and talked to the creators. And he doesn't speak Italian either, but he brought it back because he knows that I love TTRPGs from all over the world, even if I can't read it. I still like it. And he brought it back, and he was like, you should translate it and play it. And I was like, that's really cool. And instead of translating it, I just got in contact with the creators, and I was like, can you run this for me just on stream? Like, can we do this?
Awesome.
And Andrea did. And I loved it so much. And I was like, for the next like year, I was like, can we get this to English? Like, what's the plan? Can I help? What can I do? Can I help? Can I help? Until they were like, yeah, sure. And then Necrobiotic.
That's so freaking cool. What's now, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is Penny for a Tale's. Is this your first game that you're releasing?
Yeesh.
That's huge to me.
And you're funded.
I know, right? Oh God,
day.
we're so close to the upgrades too, so I'm very excited about that.
Keep it rolling, Jesus, that's amazing.
So, if anybody is wondering here, and I'm actually going to post a link to the Kickstarter because it is live right now. Necrobiotic. I'm just pulling the link up right now. So Kickstarter.com/project/penny for a tale /necrobiotic. And you can back it yourself. There's all sorts of wonderful tiers, including some stretch goals, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I do want to talk about the idea that this is your very first Penny for a Tale tabletop game being released. This is huge for anybody who is in this space, who is streaming, who considers themselves to be a kind of company that's putting out content for people with a keen eye in the future to release their own game. I know there's a lot of us, and we are everywhere, so we're all watching on the sidelines like cute little, or maybe in my case not so cute little cheerleaders cheering, hooting, and hollering from the. Thanks.
I've already pictured you in a cheerleader outfit. You're cute.
Hey,
Yes,
if
thank
I
you.
hit 1,000 followers on Twitter, that won't have to be an imagination anymore for me. Just saying.
Wait, for your
Yeah,
Twitter?
yeah. That's if I get 1,000 followers, I'm playing Made RPG in full costume.
You heard it here third, folks.
Can I throw my? I would like in on that too. Let's do this.
You want to?
Well, I got an idea. Small mouth, big eyes, maid outfits.
Whoa, there's a system. It's called Made RPG. It's like
it's Made RPG, which is just maids.
I've never heard of this, and this is amazing.
James Davey from Midnight World, amazing gentleman, has already said that he'll go in on this with me.
Yeah. Well, I'm throwing my hat in too. If it helps, I will don a maid outfit. And I will do this.
For
Oh
Mitch,
my God.
usually, I mean, for Mitch will do it for 20 followers, but
yeah, I know, right?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I've seen a stream with Mitch in a maid outfit.
Ooh, I wore my wife's dress one time.
Yes.
And I had like a fluffy hair and lipstick and everything. And she like saw me go by. She's like, "Don't you dare put that makeup on my dress." I was like,
And she's like,
very carefully put it on and off.
she's like, "You look adorable. Don't fuck up my clothes."
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm sorry.
So it is, but it is a big deal that you're releasing a game, and I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate that as a company, Panic for a Tale has been streaming for a long time, doing amazing actual plays, interviews. It's all the same stuff, same kind of stuff that we are doing. So seeing a company like yours release a game and be funded within 24 hours of it being launched, or I guess
despite the 19-hour snafu by Kickstarter technical issues.
Can't hold us down.
I know, right?
You know, and let's talk about that, because I don't really count those 19 hours, and I guess this is like when it's go time and it's your first game that you're releasing, that you're publishing, and of course Kickstarter goes down. This is one of those kind of seemingly detrimental situations that a lot of companies are probably going, "Oh my God, I hope that doesn't happen when I do mine." But you're on the other side of the ring of fire, fully funded, and it's still going. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened. I want to know a little bit about like what the French toast, how'd that happen?
I like that. What the French toast. Yeah, it was, everything was going fine. Like Wednesday, May 12th was a ridiculous day for me. The night before at around 1 a.m. we started the video and creating said video, because like schedules kept mashing up and things were just like fireworks slapping each other in the air and just falling down without any spark. And so we at 1 a.m. we started it. At like 5 a.m. we finished it. And uploaded and everything. We were all happy with it. Me and Dark Saul, who did such a fantastic job with it, and also helped me out with the layout and stuff. And then it was 1 hour sleep. Then it was 1 hour nap. Then it was the launch party and me pressing the button. And things were going super well. I was like,
Right before you were, I was watching. I think you were like $500 away from being fully funded. Right before.
I know, and like I had just gotten my second vax, and I look at it, and people are like, we can't pledge, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm looking elsewhere on Kickstarter, like, is this happening to anyone else? No, just me. What is up? Did I like do something wrong? Am I being targeted? Like,
yeah.
Oh man,
is it Russian hackers? God, please tell me it's Russian hackers.
I know. I was like, what did I do to Russia? Like, I'm pretty chill. Like, what? Like, it was just, oh man, it was a nightmare. I definitely can say, because like everything, my mind just went all over to like the worst things. Like, did I do something wrong? Was there like stock footage in the video that is actually like copyrighted or something like that?
Oh my God,
like, that can't be it. Like, what did I do? And it took a while for Kickstarter to reply. And the first reply, of course, was like, hey, can you send us the photo and tell us what happened right before this? And I was like, okay. And when I submitted the ticket, I put like 2 images of it already, but I was like, okay, here's the images again. Here's the context by which it happened. And thankfully, some friends reached out, and I was able to get some actual emails from Kickstarter to also get like what's happening, more of a direct contact instead of that like submit ticket thing.
Oh my god!
And
So you didn't you didn't hear from anybody until you were able to actually have someone who knew somebody who was able to get you in contact with someone.
Yeah. Like if I forward you my ticket information from like the official communication from Kickstarter, it's very sporadic, and it's just, oh man. They like
panic words, you know.
Yeah. I was just like, okay.
Well, here's the silver lining. So you got back on track, you got funded. Kickstarter also kind of threw a products we love sticker on it as well.
I was like,
yeah, that's awesome.
I was like,
it just sounds like, you know what, we fucked up, so let's make it up a little bit.
Yeah, I was very happy about that. And Kickstarter has always been really cool because something like this wouldn't be possible without like crowdfunding sources. And I really like all the other ones that are coming up too, and like I hope that they continue to grow and become something that is a little bit more doable for small companies. But Kickstarter right now is just like the perfect place for advertisement and marketing. If you want eyes on your product, like it's there.
It's got to be Kickstarter. Yeah, and you know, without divulging too much, you know, like I said, this is one of the things that many companies like ourselves are thinking about in the future, and seeing kind of how this thing was launched, how it had a little hiccup, you're back on track, you're still going. I mean, these are the things that are just, they happen. And it was really nice to see Kickstarter go, well, hey, listen, let's fix this quick. Let's get this up. You know, let's make sure that we can have this running, and also throw a products we love sticker on it, because honestly, it's a cool freaking product. And I want to talk about the product for a second. I want to talk about kind of what players can expect when they play the game, or what people would expect when they get the book. What is the game essentially? Give me the elevator pitch. Hopefully better than mine.
I mean, your elevator pitch was great, and then like the kind of reading from the Kickstarter by Nick. I'm like looking at the Zoom name for you, and I'm like, that's not right. You're not Ian.
Oh my god, I forgot to change it. Here we go. Let me,
yeah, I was like, what? But I think what Necrobiotic brings to the table for the TTRPG community is a place for us to accept melancholy into our hearts and explore the world by which it reigns supreme. There's like a lot of action packed. There's a lot of dark. There's a lot of humor in other TTRPGs. But for me, like growing up, I really enjoy the Korean like TV shows and movies where like the ending, it's just sad, and there's really like nothing to that happens afterward that you're like, oh yay, that was a fun time. You're just like, this is all just sad.
I love that. I love that though, because there is something very sad, especially with the artwork. You can see on the overlay, one of my favorite pieces of art from the book, because it's like you're looking at it from somebody who lives in Florence, and they have had all of their dead loved ones, or even people they didn't really like, die, and out there on the streets doing stuff, and they're modified in such a way that you can't quite recognize them. But like, you're almost looking at every single one of them going, wait, is that?
Yeah. Could that be?
Could that be? And there's this sadness. Like, I almost wonder if the people in this town or in the city almost like project their own awareness onto these automatons, and they're like, look how sad they look, but really it's just like, it's like a screwy thing in their eye. It just so happens to be leaking. It's, oh, they're crying, like, I just need to be fixed.
And one of my favorite things about the attention to detail for the artist is you can see in both of her eyes a reflection of two individuals staring at her. and originally that was like constructs looking at her, just kind of to take her away, but it really could be anything. And I love the imagery on that, as well as the tears.
Yeah.
For Necrobiotic, having when life has been extended because of advanced medicine, and then the combination of that with once you're dead, like someone comes in and takes the dead away, and it's now the property of the Citadel. So there's a piece that we're doing that we want to release soon, which is like a family crying, seeing their loved one being dragged off, not having the ability to truly mourn.
Yeah.
And it's such a heart touching thing, because I remember during the at the height of the pandemic, and we're still like there, so height is probably maybe not the right word, but someone was trying to have a funeral and wondering, like, do we get together? Is it worth the risk, mourning and going through this process? And just thinking about how important any sort of ceremony is, no matter what your beliefs are, just something to say goodbye when someone leaves, how important that is to everyone's psyche or well-being. And having that kind of in the game is something that I want people to explore, and to be like, this is sad, and there might not be an answer to it, but that's why you have your other player characters. You guys can all just be like, let's hug, let's share this human experience together in this melancholy world.
I fucking love that. Mainly because, so it harkens back. I'm gonna harken back to one of my favorite systems all time, Changeling the Lost. And something I really like about that, which I'm kind of getting the idea behind this as I read the Kickstarter and as I learn more about your system and your setting, is that it is one of those, there is no overt happy ending. It's just finding the comfort in others whenever you can. Just the fact that you have each other, and that you can hug each other and feel for each other and have these emotions and cry together, and at the end of the day, because you have that haven with each other, because you have a solace, that is victory enough. It's not about gaining an ultimate victory. It's about finding little points of hope in a sea of terror, and I dig that so much. And this evokes a lot of honestly, I know it's funny enough. The first first thing I thought of when I started reading the Kickstarter for this and everything was, I thought of the movie Nine. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah. If I could have gotten Coheed and Cambria to do the intro for our Kickstarter, that would be epic. But I love that movie.
Just like a true post-apocalyptic, but what happens after. And I think it's interesting enough that you talked about this being kind of inspired by the original Italian version. When I remember hearing stories during the pandemic, even the beginning, when Italy was in lockdown, people were literally having to stay in the houses with the bodies of their dead loved ones because no one was coming around to pick them up. And you just that idea of having to stare at death in the face, and you're literally in the art piece, you're staring death in the face.
There's something that happens when somebody dies too, that there's a feeling of it's a weird surreal feeling of why, and I want them back, and why can't they be here? This is a dream. It's not really happening. And God, why can't you just wake up? And there's a certain trade-off here in this setting that it's no, they'll be back. They're not really dying. They have an afterlife of sorts. And it's at what cost? And you're never going to be able to really fully recognize, and you're never really going to be able to have it in that same way, but you're going to have solace and know that, they are going to serve a purpose for the greater good. And there's this ethical weight and heaviness to it, of this idea of what does that mean, serving the greater good, and what does that mean, stripping out any sanctity of death? Because in this setting, there's a sanctity of life for sure, but the sanctity of death, which most cultures kind of have. Look what happens whenever anybody does anything to any gravestones. All of a sudden, it's big news, right?
Yeah.
So there is a sanctity of death that's gone now. It's sort of well, they're dead, so we're going to use them.
Yeah, it's kind of just discarded. And just the feelings you get when you watch your loved ones go out. And I think that's something in the setting I really enjoy, is the fact that there's a shared consciousness concerning human life that is more prevalent now than it is today. Like when someone kills someone, no matter what the crime is, you're going to take a trauma, because that's one more notch down for humankind in its entirety in a world where we're not doing great. And so definitely, like, the even the hardiest and most apathetic of criminals is going to pause and not kill someone, because they don't want humanity to die.
Yeah, because life is precious.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wonder in that case, in that scenario, like, do you have people who are like, well, our bodies are sacred in a different kind of way, so let me just protect my body so that it's useful for everybody later, and then I'm sure I don't, or is it the other way around? Like, is it like, is there a there are certain types of like ethics and beliefs where people just they won't get tattoos, for example, right? Because they're like, well, it's the sanctity of my body. Is they're like, well, I'm not going to get a tattoo because then that'll be like kind of hurting something that's going to serve the rest of my community.
Yeah, for the most part, like, people, art and such has been kind of put on the back burner, and it's only recently that such kind of creativity and avenues have been that people have been able to pursue them. So it's kind of this weird thing where, as you're growing up, knowing that your body will one day be used, and there's really nothing you can do to your body that will put it into that will prevent it from being used. Because if you break your arm in a way that it's hard, that could be damaging long term to the body, they're just going to replace your arm with a dead one's. And so they just kind of sew in a new arm from someone who died recently, and hey, you got a new arm, right? It's fine. They replace pieces of you over what could be like a century of living for a human, as you just continue to live with different pieces of dead things inside you, made life by the architects.
Would the ship of Theseus, would that would apply here though? Like, are you truly yourself after you've been replaced so many different times?
Yeah, like as humans like go over a century of living, having seen humanity die out and see what it is now, having to have lived through that whole experience, and not knowing exactly what you're living for or why, especially without like the arts, there's something very important about the arts, and having it suppressed, not like with animosity, but just because of the sake of survival, definitely has had like a negative effect over the people of Florence.
Is there like a cadaverous kind of art, like art through the creation of these things? Like, is there or is it more of a kind of manufactured quickly and efficiently, and they're just kind of, it's not like you have these kind of workshops with people that take pride in their work and maybe putting their own little flourish on a
yeah, I mean, it's probably it's a little bit of both. I mean, architects are meant to be very methodical, but everyone has pride in what they do, and so there definitely have been architects who have made like a little flair onto their constructs, and there are those who are infinitely better at it and create these wonderful machines. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like looking at people who make trucks. Like, there's only so pretty a truck can be, but man, you can really make them like the perfect tool for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so making that construct like well built, Ford, Tonka, tough.
I want to see like a tricked out construct.
Like with the rims and the wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking like super fly. I mean, there are war constructs that the Technopower division practice combat with. And these things, like, you know, multiple arms, you know, like talons and stuff like that. Like, you know, we were talking about Masquerade, like Zamisi and the Slochka. That's it right there.
Yeah, oh, for sure. That's freaking wild. One other thing about this game that I really find compelling is that I believe it's a diceless system, right?
Yeah, just uses cards.
Just using cards. So you could use playing cards, or you've said, and now I think I've mentioned this to you 500 times. I'm very excited that you could use tarot cards.
Yes. Oh, I
that's
was so
amazing.
excited because we were playing a couple of weeks ago, and someone was like, "I don't have a deck of cards," and I was like, "You have a tarot deck?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "You could use that," and it just popped in my head. I was like, "We should have done this like from the beginning." I don't know why I missed this.
It's so cool. So you have, so in the Kickstarter there are beautiful playing cards designed for this. Is there a plan to have a special tarot deck?
I think eventually, for us, I'm thinking long term for conventions and special convention play, and the hope is that if you like complete a special mission at a convention, we'll have like a special card specific for the custom deck that will give you an ability that you can then take home and bring to your home game. So you can be
cool.
like, I got this special thing from the convention that's now part of my character.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so the hope is eventually tarot cards, because there's so much you could do there, and there's actually a whole art type that will be utilizing the tarot deck in a more nuanced way. So if you wanted to bring that aspect into the game, it can help you do that. So yeah,
Cool.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
So I definitely want to ask a little bit about your kind of future game developments as well. It's just like, you know, as an industry insider, you know, how you kind of bring that all together. So you've launched your Kickstarter, you're funded, you're possibly getting even these stretch goals, you're really close to that, at least that core rulebook upgrade, which would be awesome. It'd be great to hit all the other goals as well. How far in the future have you already planned out? Have you sat down with your team and had a meeting and been like, you know, these are the next steps? Or are you like, okay, let's take a deep breath, let's take a break? Or is it there are never breaks on the train?
Oh, I don't think there's ever any breaks. No.
No, that's I mean, I'm good with that.
That's silly. I would like to. Because for me, after Necrobiotic, there's of course Neotech by Helmgas, which I need to get situated and ready for hopefully a Kickstarter this year for their English. And then of course with Imagining Games, there's another big like project that I'm on that I'm the head writer for, and getting that ready for Q4 of this year. But for Necrobiotic and its kind of long-term plans, I have 3 years planned out, and it's really just on scribblings of paper, kind of thrown together for when we have some time to be like, okay, now here's the next step. And it's definitely like we have the supplement, Dream Theater, which I want to produce and send out. But then there's a whole world out there beyond Florence, different cities on how they've dealt with death that are different than how Florence did. And so our hope is to bring that stuff along too, with like different archetypes and new rules and stuff. So it's definitely something where we plan to expand it out and continue to grow the world.
That's great, because like at least if you scribble like the idea on paper, you're like, okay, I've wrote this down. It's not in my head. I've committed to it at least that far, and I think that's super important about just never continuing.
Yeah, and that's the plan with Necrobiotic. Like it looks like it's loved, it's taken care of, and so as an indicator for us creators, it's like, okay, well, there's something here and we want to expand it. And my hope is to like have supplements and to keep building the world in these wonderful and beautiful ways, to have to get to a point where we're having a Kickstarter a year, so people can continue to see it flourish.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you're essentially building the setting that at first takes place in Florence, but then you've got the whole rest of the world to kind of build out. And I mean, you know, my dumb American mind's like, what's going on in
America?
Well, the Industrial Revolution, the idea, you know, with like fucking like Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the scientists that are responsible for this technologies, the early stages of the prequel kind of stuff. There's a lot of really cool things that you guys can take Necrobiotic. And I'm also very, very excited about where the fans are going to take it.
Me too.
Because that's the cool part, because it's sort of like you birth this baby and then all of a sudden people go, oh, cool baby, and then they start finding all sorts of interesting things to do with your game.
Yeah, and that's very exciting for me. Like I always get aggravated when game designers see someone on actual plays or something. And they're like, "That's not how you play it," or "That's not how it's supposed to look." Like, you know, this that's the best experience about seeing people
That's how it
do
is.
the craziest stuff with your, like, you know, just have fun. Like,
Yeah,
if
just
you're
be like,
having fun,
That's
go
yeah,
for it.
like fucking. There's not a right and a wrong way to play. I mean, okay, there are definitely wrong, objectively, everyone understands wrong ways to play games, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's very obvious what's the wrong way to play, and there's just whatever. If you're having fun with the system, that should be enough. If
Mm-hmm.
you know, I hate when people were like, you know, they go and they're like, well, that's not the setting. I don't give a shit. If he takes D&D 5e and wants to make a game about walking your dog for 6 hours straight, whatever. If they're having fun, they're having fun, and
I want to play that game.
that's
Yeah.
they call it
It's like
Pugmire,
ride the
they call
bus,
it.
but it's like ride the bus, but D&D, but you're walking your dog.
you're literally just walking. You know what? That's it. That's the next Necrobiotic.
Yeah.
Ride the steam bus.
So with the other people taking your setting and doing cool stuff with it, you have been everybody from Penny for Tail has been gracious enough to bring on the Gehenna Gaming team. Myself, Ian, and Rick, excuse me, are going to be writing.
I will work myself in there somehow.
Meet Your Maker on the next one, buddy. I bring you in. Meet Your Maker as a stretch goal, which explores outside the walls of Florence, and it's going to be very horror centric, which we are super excited for you to see what we've been developing.
It's going to be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm super stoked because once we cross this threshold, like I can't wait to start showing off all the stretch goals. Like, there's so much cool things out there that, especially for the stretch goals, and like I'm really excited about a horror because I haven't really done much horror with Necrobiotic, and so it's like, oh yeah, and horror's my jam.
Yeah. Two words: anarchy cults. That's what I'm ready to fucking.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah, we're excited to like play the game and just do cool shit with it too. Like,
I just want to play games with Mitch. That's really it. I have such a blast so far. I have not forgotten about that Flames of Freedom game you promised me. It'll come soon, but
Yes. Oh, whenever y'all want, let's do it.
Soon. I want to play that so bad. I've never played that game, and I want to play it so bad. And Flames of Freedom would be so fucking
revolutionary
awesome.
gear. I know my particular people weren't that involved in Revolutionary War, but I don't give a shit. I'm down.
Who cares? It's
fantasy.
Fucking...
It's RPG. I can be like fuck. Okay. All right, but getting back to the topic, really, I do have one question. You more of a personal interest. So, how long did you work on Necrobiotic before you decided, okay, let's launch this son of a bitch on Kickstarter?
That's a great question.
Yeah. It
like,
was,
what was enough is enough.
Yeah, that's a fucking awesome question, Nick. I have the same question.
6 months.
Exact. I'm just gonna disconnect now.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. I'm happy for that. I think that's the right answer. It's just like, let's stop playing around. Let's put our big boy shoes on and let's make this game. And I think
we had like art, and then like the core rule book's been translated for about like 4 months.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I have it there, can explore it, read through it, like really enjoy it. And then it was putting together the quick start, and it was like, okay, like we have it. What are we waiting for?
And what was that when that first step that you go, like when you finally go, let's just do it? Like, how hard was that step? Asking for a friend.
It was very difficult because your first response is going to be a great indicator on if this is a and I would never say good idea or bad idea, because I think a lot of what comes out there are great ideas, and there's somebody for it, but is this something that you can at least break even by pursuing. Which it's a huge thing.
Yes, huge.
And so it was the first like the cover, and actually our first cover looked more like this, and you kind of could see it on some of my previous posts, the woman kind of putting the eye in and everything like that. And it wasn't until I saw this image of this woman crying that I was like, this is our cover, and this is how we're going to post it. And with that confidence, I just posted it out there after staring at my computer for a couple hours, just like,
should I do it?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
After seeing what gets put out in this community, not that if you have an idea, fucking shoot for the star. Shoot for the stars, or shoot for the moon, and you'll land amongst the stars. Or
exactly. and that was it. Like, and I'm very thankful for the reception of it. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of people are very excited about this. A lot of people are speaking very positively about this game, very positively about you and your team. But honestly, you and your team are wonderful people. So I understand why. And I think this game is going to do really, really well. I'm excited to see it go further. I want everyone who's watching right now, just go to that link that we posted earlier, kickstarter.com/projects/penny-for-a-tale/necrobiotic. Go back it. It's a cool freaking game. It's an interesting setting. There's a lot of really talented people doing stretch goals. So if you don't reach those stretch goals, then those people don't get to create the cool stuff, and you don't get to see it. And more importantly, it's all about supporting really cool concepts, really cool games, and supporting amazing people and amazing companies in tabletop.
I think like for the stretch goals, like, for me, if it's not like backed, if we don't get those stretch goals, I'm just gonna pay them to write me those adventures, and I'm going to enjoy it. Like, it's just gonna be my private private stretch goal adventures.
Your collection.
Yeah.
This is why I say you're one of the many gems in the tabletop industry, Mitch. You're just
I'm just gonna take it and play.
Yeah. It's mine.
It's mine.
So let's rip those scenarios out of Mitch's greedy little hands and put it in the book so you can play it. I'm gonna give you. We're running near towards the end here, and I want you to give us one more little tidbit, something important, something cool, something interesting about Necrobiotic, and then let us know where people can find you.
Yeah, definitely. So there are two stretch goals that I am really excited about, other than the amazing writers we've brought on. And one of them is the Children of the River. The Children of the River bring a little bit of mysticism to the necrobiotic
Cool.
setting. The prophet of them finds a construct in the wilderness who can speak, and it's almost like a Moses on the mountain type experience. So they come back and are like, constructs are bad. We as a humanity are doing something very, very bad right now. And they start gaining some steam and stuff like that. And they're actually able to perform minor miracles. They just have a sense of how the world works, and can alter things in very small and interesting, unique ways. So Children of River, I'm very excited about. And then the construct template, which I am also very excited about. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be a rare thing, but exploring what happens to you after you die, and to have that experience of, crap, someone tanned me and brought me back. Like, this really sucks.
And now I have to like dig holes.
Yeah.
Digging up holes.
Yeah, it's just you can play out the movie Holes.
Honestly, that's all I want to do in an RPG.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
Actual dead but alive necrobiotic Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
All right, I do have one more question for you, Mitch, before
What else?
or my ending question, and then I'll shut the fuck up.
No, never.
All right, there's a lot of games coming out this year. Other than Necrobiotic, what is the game you're most looking forward to coming out this year?
Oh
question.
my god!
Whether it be a supplement or a new game or whatever, what is it? I want to know.
Oh,
Put on the spot. All the friends are
oh
gone.
man, this is tough. So something that's coming out on the Kickstarter, or something that is just coming and it's on.
Just coming in general. I want to see what Mitch, the game designer, what game you're like, man, I can't wait to play that.
Parslings by Smunchy Games is something I really enjoy. It's also a card-based TTRPG, where like these parasites create these tattoos on your body, and then you can combine them with other people to do these weird, cool things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like we played a whole campaign of it, and it was a lot of fun. The art style done by Blue 2 Days or something like that is amazing, unique, and fantastic. And so I really, really enjoy playing that. After that, oh man. I think Neotech is also something obviously I'm working on it, but it's something I'm very excited for because there's a lot of cyberpunk out there. And I like the new directions that Neotech is taking it. And it just kind of scratches that little itch for me.
I think it's really cool too that between that and this and Necrobiotic, you're taking these games that are not in English originally and bringing them to an English-speaking audience. And that's gigantic for me because I have such a hyper-specific interest that like I end up finding these really cool games that are in Swedish or in Spanish or in Italian or whatever. And it's like, man, I'd love to play that game one day, but I have no idea what's going on in the book because unfortunately I speak English and bad English, and that's about it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Well, and it's great. We got so many great RPGs doing them. Like Cult was originally not English, and like look at one of the biggest publishing companies right now, Free League.
Yeah,
that's where they got their start. It's just.
Yeah, Symbaroum is one of my favorite. It's my favorite fantasy game. And then after that, like Coriolis and Mutineer Zero, like I love their stuff. And honestly, like I love their original IPs slightly more than the IPs that they've got. And I love Alien and some of their other stuff. They are some creative people. So I love it when they have the opportunity to create like this original thing and weave this beautiful art. It's actually how I got into writing was a Symbaroum writing contest. And me and my friend applied and we won, and they did the art for it for a one shot.
Cool.
Which is on Drive Through RPG right now. And it was just like, seeing it put together, I was like, this is so cool. I want more of this.
you caught the bug, and what a journey that you've taken from putting some writing in to win a contest with a company that put together some really cool art on your scenario to creating an entire game system, bringing it to the United States, launching it to Kickstarter. It's already funded. We've got people that are talking about it all over the place. I can't go on the internet without running into Necrobiotic by accident from people I don't even follow. And that is dope. I want to say to you, Mitch, congratulations. Please send our congratulations to the entire Penny for a Tale team and the entire Necrobiotic team.
You got it. I will send it via Construct.
Do it. Send it via Construct. Have them take it.
Pigeon.
Yeah. Just not the not the ones from the brothel.
Oh, we have to. I'm sorry.
All right, that's a gift.
Yeah, we gotta.
Gift from us to you.
Yeah.
Take our sex bot and
enjoy it. Love it. However you want it. Have it make you eggs.
Hey,
are there sex bots in Necrobiotic, by the way?
Are there sex bots?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, it's humanity.
Of course, there's sex
I don't think humanity has ever touched something and not said, is there sex that can be implemented?
I thought you were gonna say something like, has humanity ever touched something and ever thought, can I fuck it? Like I thought.
I was gonna say that. I was thinking about that. I was just like,
it's a great invention. A salad spinner, you say?
Yeah.
Tossing salad. I'm done. I'm sorry.
All right, that's it. Well, you know what? This stream is going in the gutter, and your mind should also go in the gutter and pull out money to pay for Necrobiotic and back to Kickstarter. Go into Kickstarter, back it. Talk about it with your friends. Talk about it with your loved ones. I mean, even it's just a cool setting with some really, really cool ethical implications in the setting that you can really have a good time and have some deep conversations, or just go on cool, crazy adventures in a really weird setting. Yeah, go back it. My name is Mark. This was Nick. This was Mitch.
Where can we find each other?
Where can we find each other?
Mitch, start.
Oh man, at Penny for a Tale on all the social medias, like everywhere. Just
all of
Yeah.
them.
Boom. You can find me at Nobleman Nick. I was your co-host, Nick Francine, color commentator.
What do you have coming up, Nick?
Tomorrow you can watch me on fucking Gehenna Academy Monday night Monster Hearts. It's awesome. It's episode 3, Queen's Gambit. I fucking love this cast. I fucking love this game, and I've already planned out my next 7 games. So I'm on a steamroll of adventure here. Get ready. It's here. It's now. It's coming. It's real.
It's awesome.
It's
awesome.
Monster Hearts Monday.
Yeah.
Monster Mondays.
And of course, Monster Monday, Sunday, and actually Friday. You can find me on The Dark Ages, a
game.
Vampire the Masquerade V5 series. But on social media, you can find me at Marchosius with 5s instead of S's. But obviously, it's more important that you follow Gehenna Gaming at Gehenna Gaming all over the place on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I mean, hell, maybe I might get froggy and create a TikTok and start doing TikTok dances or ranting from my car. I don't know. In the meantime, watch all our stuff. Go into our videos. Subscribe if you like what we're doing, because it helps us keep the lights on. Back us up on Patreon if you really dig what we're doing, want to help us do cool things. We've got big plans for Patreon coming up very, very soon, by the way. And yeah, be good to each other and value the ones that you love, because sooner or later they could be dead and cleaning the streets for you.
And remember, as always, Gehenna Gaming, horror is here.
That's not our tagline.
Damn it, I'm trying to come up with one.
No, I we'll have to have that conversation. But we are
Horror.
Gehenna Gaming, and we are masters of tabletop and horror. Have a great night.
Touching your windows.
Jesus Christ.